Hello, everyone. I see on our live we have a couple of folks, as Amy mentioned. Welcome to our Center for Leadership and Service and also our Center for Cultural and Inclusive Excellence live feed. For those who don't know us, this group right here, we are the leadership advisors within our two departments. And we're going to just start off with some introductions. My name is Edwina Fui. I use she, her pronouns. I serve as the Intercultural Center Leadership Advisor, and I work in CCIE.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Bergstrom. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Programming and Marketing Leadership Advisor in the Center for Leadership and Service.
Hi everyone, my name is Georgia Peary. I use she, her pronouns. I am the Club's Program Leadership Advisor in the Center for Leadership and Service.
What's up everyone, my name is Malai Lupus Samifua, he, him, his pronouns, and I am the Advisor for Global Student Ambassadors in CLS.
Sweet. And we also have one of our leadership advisors who's not here, Gio Pinello. Hopefully you all will get to meet him at some point later on. But before we get into, talking about some upcoming updates within our offices, we wanted to just, invite you to engage with us through the comments. If you're someone who, wants to just add in your feedback, you can join us in this activity. So with our leadership advisors, we're just gonna play this game called This or That, or in other words, our would you rather questions. So if you are watching still, do you like orange or apple juice? And LPT, please feel free to respond and why.
I really like both, but I feel like I like orange. This is gonna shock people because everybody knows how much I like apples. But I feel like juice-wise, I like orange juice better, but I do not like pulp. So orange juice smooth, none of that pulp. George's face.
Orange juice smooth. I like my orange juice not smooth. So I don't know what the bubbly, rocky, I don't know. I prefer orange juice. I think because I have orange juice in my fridge right now, and I like it with pulp. Extra pulp. I buy the extra pulp. I love me some fiber in my juice.
You can have my pulp. I'll just strain it, send it to you.
Please.
I don't care for either. But I think if it was breakfast, I would do orange juice, and then any other time of the day I would do apple juice. But I don't care. I can do pulp or no pulp.
Okay, y'all I'm gonna get real transparent, but orange juice hurts my stomach. That's all I will say. But I really like orange juice with my breakfast. So sometimes when I'm out in public, at a restaurant, and I'm trying to be on the safe side, I'm all right, I gotta take apple juice just because, if I'm at home, orange juice, out in public, in a restaurant, apple juice. So yeah, that is my answer. And also team pulp. I feel like it makes you feel like you what is that, juiced it yourself? It kind of makes you feel like
it tastes more fresh. It's all natural.
Right.
I mean, insight into me, a lot of my food preferences are texture based. I can't stand texture. Yeah. But that gives me the chance to ask the next one. Are you a morning or an evening person?
I'm definitely a morning person. I usually wake up around 5. And then when I sleep in, it's 7 o'clock.
Your body just wakes you up at 5, or does your alarm go off at 5?
Sometimes I wake up before my alarm. I'm okay, I'm just waiting for it to go off so I can start my day.
I didn't used to be a morning person, but now that I have an animal in my life, I am now a morning person, which is nice because I get up at 6:30 and I get moving. But I don't think I like being a morning person. I think I just have to be now. So.
Yeah, same. I don't think I've ever been a morning person. I feel like I always share this with people, but I'm if everyone's workday can start at 10 a.m., I feel like the world would be much happier. There are people who really are energetic in the morning, but I am definitely that person who's like 10 a.m. is a great time to start. Anything before that, I'm like, I have to have coffee or something. Like you're gonna need to help me get energized in the morning. And yeah, in the evening, like I feel like I'm just more awake, um, and just like my brain functions better like later on in the day. So I think yeah, definitely I'm more of a late morning evening person.
I am naturally an evening person, like a late night person. Growing up, I was stay up until 2, sleep until 10, whatever. Like that would definitely be my preference. I think as I've been in the world of like working 8 to 5, I've kind of retrained my body. So I don't have a hard time getting up in the mornings. But I'm they do those like what animal is your sleep or is your energy levels thing. I don't know what the animal is, but there's one that has like a dual. So I'm like pretty energized in the morning, like 8 to 11 ish, and then I get re-energized in the evening. But afternoon is like not my time. So
I feel that. Okay, next question. Would you rather go to the past to meet your ancestors or to the future to meet your descendants?
I guess I'll go again since we're all thinking hard. I think I'd rather go to the past and meet my ancestors. I feel like I know myself and my own life, and I feel like getting to see some of the people and the stories that like brought here versus this is going to be deep insight into me meeting the people in the future and knowing like what influence I had on that makes me more nervous versus like getting to go back and see the people who had the influence in making me who I am.
I think I'd go to the past as well, because like that's always something I've always wanted to do, and I feel like by going into the past, I can kind of learn things that can help me be a better person today to influence the future.
I know I'm kind of torn on that too, but I feel like it'd be interesting to meet like my descendants, like just to see like, oh, ancestor Edwina, like don't do this, or if you could,
Calling Edwina ancestor Edwina.
yes, or grandma, whatever. I don't know what in the future, great grandma. If there's anything that advice from like future descendants that I could make decisions on, like from within my time that may impact them, I feel like that would be really cool to also hear.
I'm also kind of torn. I see Amy's point, and I think I feel that of like being anxious of seeing your descendants and like what your role is in that. But also, what if they're really cool people and you had an influence in that? So I think I would want to go to the future. Also, because I feel like I know some stuff about my ancestors and the white colonizers that they were. So I think I don't need to see that in with my own eyes because I know on paper what happened. So I think I'd go to the future, but I still think it'd be a little nerve-wracking. Um, yeah, and also I think of like time travel and I get really into it of like if I go, do I mess something up when I'm there? That's a whole different live episode that we could do of this. So
But that's what you want. You want to see if you go in the future, because that's what it sounded like.
well, I want to see the future, but I don't want to like
You don't want to mess it up.
accidentally mess anything up in the future, and then when I come back to the present, it's all different.
Right. You don't want a back to the future situation here.
Next question. Would you rather spend your life and travel to every city in the world or stay in your hometown city? And maybe you can add like where your hometown city is, whatever you think your hometown city is.
Oh, Edwina, go for it.
Yes, I am from South End in Seattle, right here in Washington, my hometown city. Um, I feel like I would love the experience of being able to travel to every city in the world, but I definitely would be exhausted and just imagining like physically like how I would feel like by the end of that journey. And I would literally probably have to spend all my life doing that. That'd probably be my life purpose. Is if if I wanted to have that goal of traveling to every single place in the world. Um, and I also really love my hometown city as well. So I think I would. Dang. Like I have to go with this question, I can't even answer it. But okay, I think I would definitely like just for the experience. And if I did, like if I were practicing wellness, if I felt like energized to do so, I would definitely choose to travel to every city in the world because I feel like in the places that I have been able to travel to, like I've learned so much from those experiences. So just imagining like how much more would I learn if I were able to have that privilege to go to every city in the world.
I would definitely do the travel to every city. I love travel, and there's so many places that I want to see. And I appreciate where I grew up, but I don't necessarily need to be there. My only thing is that I want like the people I care about to be able to come with me because that's the thing that keeps me like close to home is I want to like be near my family and like friends who are family. And so I want them all to come on this world tour with me. So if I can bring them all along, then I definitely choose that.
I feel the same. If I could bring my dog and she would want to be traveling the world and she'd be okay with that, then I would totally travel to every city in the world. It does sound exhausting, and I think one thing that quarantine has taught me is that I am a homebody and I'm really okay with staying home. But I don't know if that's necessarily something I don't really want to know if I want to stay in my hometown. So I think I'm gonna travel the world.
Definitely would travel the world. Um, I've always wanted to go to different places. I feel like I'm an international person, but I haven't had the international funds to do that. So I definitely would do traveling around the world.
All right. And I could ask, and our last question for our this or that um, is actually going to be connected into what we're going to be talking about for today, which is our winter leadership retreat. So, in preparation for WLR leadership advisors, our theme this year is unplug to plug in. So, what is one wellness tip that you have for our community?
I have this one prepared already. I think I just as Edwina shared her relationship with orange juice, my relationship with sleep is not great, and so I've really tried to be better about like getting better sleep. And one thing that's been working is really going to bed at the same time and not having like a screen in front of me for at least like 30 minutes before. So like not looking at my phone and reading a book before bed, and trying to do it at the same time every night.
I think mine, and I'm not great at it. So something that I am striving for, striving is not even the word I want to use. Something that I like want to try and do, but also give myself a break on is trying to get outside and move a little bit. Not even necessarily, I mean, it's exercise, but not even for that reason, for the reason of just like getting out. I think there's a lot of really great wellness benefits of being outside, of the like fresh air and moving and all of those kinds of things. And so, as much as possible, I try and go out and go for a walk. And I often don't want to when it is not nice outside. And so, even having to just convince myself I will feel better if I go and do this, even though I feel real cozy right now, by getting out and doing that is something that I really try for.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lupe.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead because I'm the one that asked the question. My bad.
Okay. I think my tip would be to not worry about, I guess, how would I phrase this? Like, there's always going to be work to do. And sometimes I find myself like working into the midnight hour kind of thing. And I feel like if I just like give yourself a break, like put that stuff down and then get the rest that you need so that tomorrow that work will still be there. And I say that because uh, if you do that, I think you can be more productive because now you're trying to get everything done that you need to get done. So something along those lines.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what all of you have shared, especially like what you just shared too, Lupe, about just being okay with just letting the work sit. Like, something I always share, even when working with students, is just taking one task at a time. Like, because I think, like, even for myself, like when I'm not doing well, it's because I'm trying to think of like five things at once. So I would say just practice, focusing on one project, one task, one item at a time, balancing yourself out. And also just like during this time of, quarantine with some folks working from home. Um, Something I really appreciate about some of our boss squad, our team, is this really like being able to redefine what does productivity look like for you. Like, we're not trying to echo what we did when we were working together in person in our offices. So that can apply like even just to your life in general as well. So I think just one thing at a time, give yourself grace. And I'm not good at this, but drink water. That's, I just gave like three wellness tips. I am right. I have this, but it's still full, so I'm not drinking enough. So drink your water because I'm trying to practice that myself for my own advice. But yeah, all right. Thank you, LPT, for answering questions. We're gonna pass on to Amy.
Yes, thank you, Edwina, for those fun questions that we got to talk about and great lead in, as you mentioned. As you may have seen, this event that we put on Facebook is called Winter Leadership Retreat Launch Party. So I know the party is watching us talk, but so if you have heard of the Winter Leadership Retreat before, or even if you haven't, this is our chance to get to talk to you a little bit about what we have planned for Winter Leadership Retreat 2021. So if you haven't heard of Winter Leadership Retreat, I'm also going to start calling it WLR because that's a lot of words. WLR is an annual event hosted by the Center, so the Center for Leadership and Service and Center for Cultural and Inclusive Excellence, that brings together students from across campus to explore leadership in depth and really to build a community of student leaders. So it's a great opportunity for students who maybe have never met before but are interested in exploring their own leadership to connect with other students and really to build that community amongst their student population. And so normally, if it wasn't, what it is right now, Winter Leadership Retreat is at a retreat center. And although we are super sad that we are going to miss out on that opportunity this year, we still wanted to take the time to bring students together virtually, especially because we know that connection right now is a lot more challenging. And so we really thought, doing a virtual Winter Leadership Retreat in a different form and acknowledging that it's going to be a different experience than if we were all in a cabin together. It's still a really important time for us to work on building those connections and helping students connect to each other. WLR is also a time of reflection and checking in with yourself. So that's why, as Edwina mentioned, we've selected the theme this year, which is plug in to unplug. So we know that we are asking everyone to engage in another online meeting, but we hope that this will be a space where you will plug in literally with your computer, phone, other device that you would use, as well as plug into community, but that ultimately by plugging in, you would be unplugging from the daily life concerns, have some measure of a retreat during our COVID-19 season. So that's a little bit about what Winter Leadership Retreat is, what we are working on building for you this year. And so WLR is coming up in February 2021. So it'll be February 11th and 12th. And we are still working out the exact details, the time, and everything like that. But our plan right now is we are working on getting a really amazing keynote speaker who would share a little bit about their own experiences with this kind of idea of plugging into community. And that would happen on Thursday, February 11th. And then we'll have some additional workshops on February 12th. So again, exact times TBA, but this is just us letting you know, save the dates, February 11th and 12th. And then the great part is that if you have a class conflict, since we're virtual, you would still be able to come to the rest of the sessions that don't overlap with your class. Although we hope that you'll be able to fully engage in the retreat if possible. Another great thing about us being virtual is we don't have any size limitations because we're not traveling anywhere. So this means that WLR is open to all Highline students. So all you have to do to participate is register, and registration is now open. So this will be going out in all of our socials and website and all of that kind of thing. But there's a website that you can go to register, and it is bit.ly/WLR21. And we'll comment it on the Facebook event as well. And then we are just asking for priority registration by January 15th. So you still have a little bit of time. There's a little bit of a reflection question that we ask on the registration form. It's not a screening, it's just the whole point of this is for you to be starting to have that reflection and insight into yourself. And so we want to get that started from the registration form. So I think that's it. LPT, did I miss anything that you want me to address? Oh, okay, awesome. Well, then I will throw it back to Edwina.
Thank you, Amy. Don't miss out, students. Like, you know, I mean, if you can't tell already, we're kind of cool. We're kind of cool leadership advisors, I think, in my opinion. Hopefully you think that same way too. But yes, please register, sign up, and we hope to see you all virtually. And so in closing, so today is Wednesday, December 2nd. Tomorrow we have our last Thunderbird Thursday of the quarter. So for folks who don't know, Thunderbird Thursday is a part of our Connect program, which really is a way for us to try and get folks connected. If you were looking for a way to get involved, looking for some leadership development skills, or just wanting to be in community, we really want to invite you to come out tomorrow from 2:30 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're watching us from the East Coast, that's cool too, or anywhere in the world. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, 2:30 to 4 p.m. We have who we call our boss queens, our Associate Dean, Aisha Valencia, and our Director for CCIE, Doris Martinez, who are going to be facilitating a conversation on self-care and community care. And this is the description of their workshop. So the title is Collective Care Begins With You. Can we get 2 snaps, 5 snaps, reactions? Cool, awesome. So the description is, and this is from our boss queens, what is your ideal vision of wellness for yourself? By making self-care tangible, this workshop will help you identify where you are nourished and thriving in areas that could use some attention. Collectively, we are experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, which has required us to take serious individual precautions for the care of the greater good. Collective care is needed now more than ever. So how do we do this during quarantine? Join us for an exploration of self, community, and rejuvenation. That already sounds refreshing to me. So I hope you all will join us tomorrow. For students, if you attend at least 5 of our Thunderbird Thursdays, you'll receive what's called our leadership certificate. So join us on this journey, or let us be a part of your leadership journey. So I hope you all come through. Once again, thank you all for watching us live. If you think we're cool and you're like, LPT, you should do this more often, please leave comments and let us know, because if not, we don't have to go live again. But anyways, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, anything else, LPT? No, we're all good. All right. See you online, community. Bye.
Bye.